She screamed "gun" in the middle of the grocery store, and within seconds, shoppers were diving behind aisles, someone was crying, and a manager was calling for help. And then she said the words that froze me cold. "I'm calling the police to have him arrested." The thing is, I am the police. I'm the sheriff of Pine Valley County. My name's Tom Mitchell. 45 years old, 20 years chasing criminals through city alleys and meth labs before I thought I'd finally earned some peace. I traded sirens for birdsong concrete, for pine needles, moved to this quiet little town tucked between two rivers, hoping to exhale for the first time in decades. I bought a modest place on Juniper Lane, joined the local HOA, even tried to learn everyone's name. But you never really know a town until you meet its self-appointed ruler, and Pine Valley's was a woman named Karen Thompson. Karen arrived a few months before me, all sharp angles and silver bob, the kind of smile that looks like it's holding a complaint form. She'd been on some condo board in the city and came here hungry for a new kingdom. Within a week, she'd created a neighborhood watch chat called Eyes on Pine Valley, complete with whistle emojis and all-caps rules about community safety. People humored her at first. I did too, but there was something about her, the way she spoke, like the world might fall apart if a trash can lid was left open. I thought, fine, every town's got one. Then came the HOA newsletter, 12 pages long, half gossip, half legal citations. At the bottom, her name in bold, Karen Thompson, Compliance Liaison. I laughed. I'd seen her type in the city, people who wear control like armor. But small towns magnify personalities. One spark can light up a whole street. When I attended her safety awareness meeting, the topic hit home weapons in residential zones. She'd printed slides, quoted laws from states 2 time zones away, and declared that visible firearms create dangerous optics. I sat in the back with lemonade watching her declare war on imaginary threats. When she asked for questions, I raised a hand. "How do you plan to handle disagreements?" She smiled tight, firmly and immediately. That told me everything I needed to know. 2 mornings later, she was pacing the cul-de-sac in a reflective vest, jotting notes on clipboards like she was auditing air. Every time I walked past with my service weapon legally holstered as the law allows, she gave me that look, equal parts fear and authority. I could have told her who I was. I didn't. Sometimes anonymity teaches you more about people than a badge ever could. A week later, I stopped by Pine Valley Market. Jeans, flannel shirt, loaf of bread in one hand, coffee beans in the other. And then the word that can turn peace into panic gun. Her voice sliced through the store. Heads turned, carts froze. Someone ducked behind a cereal display. I turned slowly, hands open. Karen was standing at the end of the aisle, phone clutched like a holy relic. "He's armed!" she shouted. "He's threatening us!" I said, calm as a man ordering lunch. "Ma'am, I'm legally carrying this firearm. There's no threat here." She gasped, scandalized. "Legal. In a grocery store. This isn't a war zone." She turned to the crowd. "Someone call the police." And I almost laughed, because if she did, I knew exactly who would pick up. But laughter didn't come easy when fear spread faster than truth. I could feel it ripple through the store, the way people stepped back, their eyes darting between me and her. My instinct was to end it right there, flash the badge, restore order. But something in me said, no, let it play out. Let reality be the teacher. When the siren started approaching, I felt that familiar knot in my chest. Not fear, not guilt, just fatigue. 20 years of this. People who mistake panic for justice. For a moment I doubted myself. Maybe I should have worn the uniform. Maybe blending in was naive. Maybe peace doesn't exist for people like me. But then I remembered Bert's words, the old sheriff who'd retired before me. Pine Valley ain't complicated till someone decides to make it. Karen had decided, so I waited. The sliding doors opened, with that hiss that always precedes chaos. Deputy Elena Rodriguez and Deputy Will Chin walked in, eyes scanning hands near their holsters. I saw the flicker of recognition, then amusement. They knew exactly what kind of call this was. Karen waved both arms. "Officers." "Over here? That's him. Arrest him immediately." Elena's voice stayed calm. "Ma'am, can you tell us what happened?" Karen pointed dramatically. "He pulled out a firearm, terrified everyone, refused to disarm." He's a danger. Did he point it at anyone? Well, no. But the presence of the gun is a threat. HOA bylaws forbid dangerous objects. Chen exchanged a look with me. Ma'am, HOA bylaws aren't criminal law, she scoffed. Laws are laws. You have to do something. The crowd shifted, whispering phones up. I could feel the absurdity building, the tension winding so tight it almost hummed. She turned on me again. Get on the ground before they get here. I raised an eyebrow. On the ground, for buying bread. Gasps, a few nervous chuckles. Karen flushed red. Don't mock me. This is a citizen's arrest. Rodriguez nearly choked, trying not to laugh. Karen pulled out her phone like it was a badge. I have video proof, she cried. At that moment, Sergeant Mills arrived, gray hair, built like a wall, a man who's seen everything twice. Karen rushed him. Sergeant, finally. These officers are hesitating. You can see for yourself. Armed man resisting arrest. Mills looked from her to me, and I gave the smallest shake of my head. Play along. He sighed. Ma'am, we'll sort it out. Did this man threaten anyone? No, but he mocked me. That's dangerous intent. That did it. Half the store burst into muffled laughter. She spun, furious. This isn't funny. This is life and death. I shifted the loaf of bread under my arm. Whole wheat or sourdough, ma'am? That's the only life and death decision I made today. The crowd laughed harder. Her face went crimson. You think this is a joke? Guns kill people every day? No, ma'am, I said evenly. People kill people. Guns are tools. It's how we use them that counts. Don't get philosophical with me, she barked. You're not above the law. I let the silence stretch. No, ma'am, I said softly. I am the law. And right on cue, Chen's radio crackled. Dispatch, confirm identity. Tom Mitchell, Pine Valley address. The reply came clear enough for every phone camera to catch confirmed Sheriff Tom Mitchell, Pine Valley County. The room erupted. Laughter, disbelief, clapping. Karen froze, her mouth opening and closing like a fish. No. That's fake, you're lying. I took out my badge, let the gold star catch the fluorescent light. Not from Amazon, ma'am. Mills sighed. He's my boss. That broke the dam. Even the manager, Clyde, was doubled over laughing. Someone whispered. Karen tried to arrest the sheriff. Karen stumbled back, still filming, her world cracking right down the middle. You tricked me. You let me humiliate myself. I said quietly, I didn't make you call 911. I didn't make you invent crimes. You did that all on your own. The laughter softened into something else, truth settling in. Rodriguez spoke next, gentle but firm. Ma'am, filing a false report could have gotten someone hurt. You said he was waving his weapon. Karen's bravado faltered. I was just trying to protect the community. Mills crossed his arms. You protect it by telling the truth, not by spreading fear. I could have arrested her right then, false report, disorderly conduct, but Pine Valley wasn't the city. Out here, justice didn't always wear handcuffs. So I said, ma'am, I'm not going to arrest you. I'm going to ask you to think. Next time, before you shout, before you dial, ask if you know the facts, or if you're just scared of what you don't understand. Her eyes glistened. I'm sorry, she whispered. I nodded once. Don't apologize to me. Apologize to them. She turned, facing the neighbors she'd terrified, controlled, lectured. For the first time, she looked small. Just another person who let fear do the talking. The crowd stayed quiet. Then someone started clapping. Another joined, and for the first time since that shriek tore the air, Pine Valley Market felt human again. Karen lowered her phone, eyes wet. I just wanted everyone to be safe, she said weakly. Then start by learning the difference between fear and fact, I replied. The moment hung there, heavy and still. No applause this time. Just understanding, the kind that settles in deeper than laughter ever could. I turned toward the door, badge still glinting under the fluorescent light, and for a second I felt the exhaustion of 20 years wash over me. Not anger, not pride, just the quiet weight of knowing how fast people can turn truth into a weapon when fear gives them permission. Karen stood frozen, realizing her camera had captured her own undoing. The same device she'd used to accuse me was now proof of her hysteria. She lowered it slowly, as if setting down something fragile that might explode. I walked past her, my voice low enough only she could hear. The law doesn't disappear when I take off the uniform, ma'am. It's not the badge that carries authority, it's the oath behind it. She didn't answer, just nodded, trembling, her empire of HOA rules crumbling in silence. Outside, the sirens faded into distance, leaving only the sound of wind through the pines. Pine Valley's peace had returned, but not unchanged. And that's how one woman called the police to arrest her own sheriff, all because fear spoke louder than reason. Sometimes the loudest voice in the room isn't the one that's right, it's just the one that's scared.